So I recently created a pretty cool glowing lines motion graphic inside After Effects using Video Copilot's Saber plugin. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use this plugin to create this pretty cool effect inside After Effects. Let's dive in. So I'm inside After Effects, and to get started, I'm going to create a new composition. I'm just going to name this Cool Neon Lines Looping Graphic. And then from the preset menu, I'm just going to choose 1920 by 1080. For the duration, I'm leaving it at 30 seconds and 30 frames per second for the frame rate. Next, I'm going to grab my type tool, and I'm just going to type out some text here. In this case, I'm just creating a graphic for a QR code. Then I'm going to go and navigate to my Align panel and center this. Next, I'm going to create the background, and to do that, I'm going to go up to Layer, New Solid. I'm going to create a nice new blue background layer. And then I'm going to click on the layer and navigate to Effects and Presets. I'm going to type in for the effect CC Vignette. I'm going to click and drag this to my layer, and this will add a vignette to the layer. I'm going to change the amount to 200 just to pull that vignette in a little bit more. Now, to create the QR code, I use this website. I'm going to link this down in the video description below if you want a website where you can create QR codes. But essentially, I'm just going to create a new static website QR code for my website. And then you have some stylizing options. Once you're ready, you can click the download button. Now, once you have this in After Effects, I'm just going to click and drag this to my composition. And I'm going to scale it down quite a bit to 50. You can also use the new properties panel inside After Effects. If you don't see this, you can go up to Windows Properties. This is nice to easily see all the transform controls for a specific layer. Next, I'm going to toggle on Title Action Safe. I'm going to select both layers and use the properties panel to align these layers positionally on the y-axis. Once I got that good, I'm going to go and create a new solid, and this will be the layer that we apply the Saber plugin to. First, I'm going to go and grab my pen tool, and this is where we're going to actually create the shape of the Saber effect, or the glowing lines. So I'm just going to click and drag out points on this new solid to create a mask, and it's important to kind of just create a nice, even, round shaped mask here. So if you don't get it right the first time, you can always come back and make adjustments, but try to get nice round corners on those edges. And then for this last vertice point, I'm going to go to the Convert Vertex tool and then just click on that point to make it a Bezier vertex point. After that, I'm just going to go back to my selection tool and fine tune these edges. I'm going to adjust the handlebars and the vertices to kind of line it up and make sure the edges and the corners are pretty round and smooth. If you don't get this right the first time around, you can always come back later and make adjustments once the Saber effect is applied to this solid. But once you have it the way you'd like it, to apply the effect, just go up to Effect, Video Copilot Saber. And then the first thing you'll want to change is under Core Type, you'll want to change it to Layer Masks. And this will apply the Saber effect to the masks on the layer. Now we're going to change some of the settings. I'm going to change the start size to 200, the roundness to 2, the end size to 0, and the end offset to 50. Now you'll notice that this end offset determines how long the tail is, so you can make this value larger and it'll have a longer tail, or maybe change it to 20 and you'll notice that it's a lot shorter. But in this example, I'm going to leave it at 50. Next, what I'm going to do is select the layer, and we're going to animate this. So I'm going to just make sure my playhead's at the very beginning of the composition. I'm going to click on the stopwatch next to Mask Evolution. Then I'm going to move my playhead to the very end, and I'm going to change the number of our evolutions to -3. So as you can see now that we play it back, you can see that it revolves around. Now you can increase this value to maybe -10, and this will go faster. But for now, I'm going to leave it on -3. Next, you'll want to go under Render Settings, and you'll want to change the composite settings to transparent. That way you can see the background and all the layers underneath the Saber effect. So for the other Saber effects, what I'm going to do is duplicate it by hitting Command or Control D on my keyboard. I'm just going to size this up and rotate it a little bit and then change the color. And now you can see that we get a different type of Saber effect, but it's very similar to the original. So this is a quick and easy way that you can simulate this effect of several glowing lines in your composition. Now there's a lot of different settings that you can change in here. For example, you can change the presets. There's a lot of different presets such as like energize. You can make this green, maybe like a energy type of Saber. If you want to learn more about these controls, Video Copilot did put together a complete tutorial on how to use Saber. I will link that down in the video description if you do want to check that out. Now, one other cool thing that you can do with Saber is you can add this to text effects, kind of creating a nice, cool looping text outline glow animation. If you want to see how to create that, I did make a tutorial going over how to do that. I'll link that video right up there. But otherwise, I hope this video was helpful if you wanted to create some cool glowing lines inside After Effects. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.